We have a very special keynote speech, and that'll be delivered by Ms. Lorraine Hariton, who is the Special Representative for Commercial and Business Affairs at the Bureau of Economic and Business Affairs of the United States State Department. Lorraine, as the Special Representative for Commercial and Business Affairs, has a lot of experience in innovation entrepreneurship. She's also a 15-year veteran of IBM. Her responsibility right now is for State Department outreach to the business community and commercial advocacy efforts. So she works with the business community around the world to ensure basically a kind of a collaborative commercial diplomacy effort. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming Ms. Lorraine Hariton from the U.S. State Department.
Thank you very much. On behalf of the United States of America, I want to thank His Majesty King Abdul II for his patronage and really for everything he's done to try to develop the IT sector within Jordan. As was just mentioned, I come out of Silicon Valley where as an entrepreneur and executive, and I made my first trip to Jordan about 3 years ago and have been extremely impressed with the level of investment in the IT sector and in entrepreneurship in general. And coming back here to the Dead Sea, I've just been also impressed with the amount of progress that's been made over the last 3 years. The United States government has long held the view that one of the most effective ways to combat extremism is to give opportunities to young, disillusioned, and impoverished people. And nowhere is this more relevant than in the MENA region, where the number of individuals under 25 years of age ranges between 40 and 60% of the population, and well over a quarter of those people are unemployed. Many people estimate that collectively the region will have to create at least 50 million jobs just to keep even with the current level of unemployment, which is really already unacceptable. Together, we have an enormous challenge to foster economic development and promote entrepreneurship in the region. And we recognize that ICT is not only important to the economy because it can catalyze growth in the sector, but because of the enormous impact it can really have in terms of growth of lots of sectors, like in finance, tourism, manufacturing, and retail, by enabling these sectors to be more effective and to be able to enable them to communicate with the modern world. In order to realize the full benefit of ICT, the United States has participated in a number of dialogues on international communications and cooperations, and it's been vigilant in a number of areas. That includes cybersecurity, which is absolutely critical to support the effectiveness of our vulnerable ICT data, voice, and video. In intellectual property rights, and in fair rules for international trade, which are outlined, for those of you who are interested, in the European Union's United States Trade Principles and Information Technology Communication of April 4th, 2011. These ICT trade principles include crucial concepts for the fostering of economic growth, such as rule of law and transparency in the laws and regulations, open ICT networks, free cross-border information flows through the Internet, and independent ICT regulation authority to promote fair competition, openness to foreign and private ownership, and international cooperation. So if we really want to have a vital ICT sector in this region, it is critical that all the governments in the region and the participants in the region support having these types of free trade agreements and support these philosophies. One of the most important parts of this is Internet freedom. We all have been talking all day about the great opportunity the internet affords this region. In fact, in the G20 countries, it is estimated that there's $2.3 trillion worth of business in the internet, which is expected to double over the next 4 years. And we all know, and we've been talking about how this region is underrepresented and undersupported, but we absolutely have to be able to support internet freedom and what that really means. So what are we really talking about? In this region and around the world, despite the fact that there's a wide understanding that the internet has really grown up around principles of openness, competition, it's really been a grassroots effort, there's still a lot of efforts to control the internet, to control it for political reasons and to control the cultural content. And a lot of effort's gone into trying to accomplish that. But this is not the way the people in these regions, the way the young entrepreneurs who participate in this region are going to be effective and successful in a global economy. So it is really imperative that our governments and that the people that understand that the internet is open and free, and that's how we are going to be successful in this region. That's how the entrepreneurs and the businesses in the region are going to be successful on a global basis, is only by having a free and open internet. So I'm really here to say that we, the U.S. government, is very supportive of entrepreneurship in this region and doing the things we need to do to create the type of enabling environment that is going to allow everyone to be successful. On that note, the U.S. Department of State and President Obama himself has been very supportive of entrepreneurship in this region and entrepreneurship as an underpinning for growth in this region. He made statements in the Cairo speech in 2009 about entrepreneurship. He called for a summit on entrepreneurship that was held in April of 2010. And at that summit, he brought together over 250 entrepreneurs and entrepreneurship ecosystem builders from 55 Muslim-majority communities around the world for a very highly successful conference. And that conference was continued in 2011. It was held in Turkey, and in 2012 in Dubai, and there's plans for it to be in Malaysia in 2013. At that summit, President Clinton announced the Global Entrepreneurship Program, which is housed in my office. And that program is aimed at developing entrepreneurial ecosystems around the world. And we focus first on Muslim-majority communities. We have programs in Egypt, in Turkey, in Indonesia, and we're launching programs in Morocco and in Tunisia. I have to say that at that time I came to Jordan, and we were so impressed with the ecosystem that Jordan had developed through programs like the Oasis 500, other things that we decided that we'd put our efforts in some other locations because there'd already been so much focus and success in this area. That's not to say that everything is complete. There's a lot more need for access to capital that Sama Fayyad and I were just talking about at lunch, but I really do commend Jordan for the efforts you've made and for the progress that has been made. So the U.S. government and the program, the Global Entrepreneurship that I'm responsible for, has really broadened across the world, and we work with over 100 partners to deliver programs through all our embassies, which are basically a distribution channel for enabling entrepreneurship. Like one of our partners is going to be talking in the next panel that's All World. So the All World 500 is one of our partners. So another partner of ours is Global Entrepreneurship Week, and by partnering with our embassies, we've been able to really expand and enhance that program, and we had 70 of our embassies around the world helping deliver Global Entrepreneurship Week programs. And these programs are aimed at identifying potential entrepreneurs, training them, providing them access to markets and to mentors, helping develop the venture and venture capital and angel networks, working on the regulatory environment, and trying to promote successes and changing the culture around entrepreneurship so that we really celebrate entrepreneurship and the success of people who've been successful like Matuk and others in this region. There's other programs that the Department Department of State have been very successful is our Global Innovation and Science and Technology program called GIST. So this is why entrepreneurship is really critical to and one of the key components of our economic statecraft agenda. And Secretary Kerry has reiterated in some of his first speeches as our new Secretary of State his commitment to economic development and his commitment to entrepreneurship. So we are looking forward to continuing this partnership, to continuing the programs that we've initiated, and to work very closely with the governments in this region to support economic growth and prosperity as a key part of our foreign policy agenda. So I am delighted to be here today. I'm delighted that we are able to contribute to your efforts, and I'm delighted to see this conference and all the participation here. So thank you very much for your time.